Hi, friends. Welcome to tonight's continuing education class. We're going to be learning about castor oil. And this is an oil that has been used since ancient times for health, for beauty, for so many different things. And I want to start the class by sharing a brief video regarding the convention that we just had in September, the doTERRA convention, where they launched this incredible oil. And Becca Nixon is the one that is featured on the stage, and she's going to reveal the castor oil that has just been added to the doTERRA collection as of October 1st. And so I want to share that video because she goes into a little bit of detail regarding its history and the marvelous properties it has and how we can use it. And then afterward, we're going to learn different ways that we can apply it to the wellness pyramid, which we're all familiar with. And if we're not, we'll go over some of that in just a second. So I will be sharing my screen and we're going to be watching about, like I said, 7 minutes of this introduction to castor oil at the doTERRA convention.
As any wellness practitioner will tell you, true renewal is a whole body experience. It's not just what happens on the inside. It's also about how we soothe the body on the outside. We nourish, we reconnect with it. And there's a part of that care, a practice so deeply rooted in human history that we nearly let it slip away. Not because it stopped working, but because it didn't keep up with our pace. It didn't compete for attention. It was too humble, too quiet, too grounded in slow rituals and everyday touch. For generations, it was passed hand to hand, not through studies, but through stories. Mother to child, healer to neighbor, not discovered, remembered. But the world got louder, faster. We began to mistake newer for better and louder for truer. Care became a swipe, an algorithm, a trend. And in the rush for what's next, we forgot what's always worked. We stopped listening to the wisdom that lives in our hands and in our homes and in the rhythm of the natural world. But even in the noise, nature never leaves us. It waits patiently for a moment like this. This is castor oil by doTERRA. Rooted in ancient wisdom, elevated to a new standard. Now, castor oil is one of the oldest wellness remedies in human history. In ancient Egypt, it was treasured as both medicine and beauty care. Cleopatra herself is said to have used it to brighten her eyes and nourish her skin. In India, it became a cornerstone of Ayurveda, trusted to cleanse, restore, and balance the body. And across continents and generations, families kept a bottle in the home, a simple golden liquid used for everything from soothing the skin to comforting the body in times of need. Now, castor oil is pressed from the seeds of the Ricinus communis plant, a flowering shrub that has been cultivated for centuries for its diverse applications. The oil itself is like this naturally thick, golden, beautiful oil, and it has this gentle, earthy aroma. And what makes it truly extraordinary comes down to one rare compound, ricinoleic acid. Now, this rare fatty acid makes up the majority chemistry in our castor oil. It's what gives it the ability to deeply moisturize, calm the inflammatory system, restore the skin barrier, and support the body's natural detoxification systems. And here's what makes this moment with doTERRA so different. Castor oil is being held to the same uncompromising standards as our essential oils. CPTG, certified pure tested grade, certified USDA organic, cold pressed, hexane free, vegan friendly, and protected in amber glass. And because of its naturally high viscosity, it does something extraordinary. It holds essential oils in place longer on the skin. Now, this means that when you layer castor oil with your favorite doTERRA essential oils, you're not only amplifying their power, you're actually extending their impact. So why launch castor oil now? Well, we waited to ensure our partner shares our commitment to protecting the land, respecting the people, and maintaining purity in every batch. Our goal was to deliver a product that truly reflects doTERRA's values and meets our strict CPTG standards. Now, that journey brought us to Gujarat, India, where more than 80% of the world's castor oil is grown. But just because the main source of castor oil comes from the same region, doesn't mean it's harvested the same or held to the same standards. Region doesn't equal rigor. Our castor oil comes from hundreds of smallholder farmers who are transforming dry, less fertile land into thriving farmland. They use crop rotation to protect soil health. They grow with little to no irrigation and harvest the seeds by hand to preserve their quality. At doTERRA, how it's done matters just as much as where it's done. Through our sourcing efforts, we've prioritized supporting growers to implement sustainable farming practices, cold pressing the seeds soon after harvest, maintaining lot-level traceability, and testing every batch for purity, potency, and therapeutic profile. And here's what that looks like in real numbers. So it takes 450 to 500 seeds to produce just one bottle. Each plant yields only 2 to 3 bottles per season. And inside every 300 milliliter bottle, which is just a little over 10 ounces, you get 7,500 drops of CPTG organic castor oil. Every bottle produced extends beyond mere quality. It is the result of skilled and caring hands, countless hours, and one unshakable standard. Now, with all of this care, all the sourcing, testing, and intention, it's not just about what's inside the bottle. It's about what it does when it meets your life. Because when something is made this well, you feel it in your daily habits, in your results, in the way your body responds. Now, castor oil is remarkably versatile. Its beauty, deeply moisturizing and nourishing to the skin. It's both a humectant and an occlusive, which means it draws moisture in and then seals it, helping the skin to stay hydrated, supple, resilient. It softens dry patches, restores glow, and conditions brows, lashes, and hair. It's also comfort, soothing tension in joints or muscles after a long day. It's emotional well-being, a quiet grounding ritual that reminds your body of what it feels like to be cared for. This isn't a task. It's not a transaction. It's care, the kind that meets you where you are without asking anything in return. And in a world addicted to urgency, choosing slowness is an act of rebellion.
Okay, my friends, so that was the introduction to our castor oil, which I have right here, and it is 10.14 fluid ounces. And I was so excited. I was actually at that convention in Utah, and this is what the bottle looks like. So the next part of this class, I'm going to share how you can use this oil in your everyday rituals. So we're probably already using the wellness pyramid for our health. And I'm going to be sharing how in each of those segments of wellness, we can incorporate the castor oil into our daily routine. And I'll also share a couple of recipes. And so, for those of you that are here that may not know me or you're watching the recording, my name is Elisa Bonet, and I am so grateful that you took a little bit of time out of your busy day to learn about castor oil. And as we learned in the brief video, doTERRA's castor oil is beyond organic. It's not only certified organic by the USDA, but it also has to meet doTERRA's rigorous testing, which is the certified pure tested grade that all of the essential oils go through. And so it's like a double certification that gives us the peace of mind knowing that we are using something that is absolutely pure and not compromised in any way. Now, what is the difference between castor oil and fractionated coconut oil? Coconut oil is something that we use for our essential oils to make roller balls. We use it to dilute it for use on pets or on children. And so the big difference is that castor oil is very thick and the fractionated coconut oil is light. Coconut oil absorbs very quickly. It doesn't leave a greasy residue, and the castor oil will penetrate deeply and it can get a little bit sticky. Castor oil nourishes and hydrates, and then the coconut oil prevents sensitivity. It helps keep the oils localized because essential oils are volatile, almost like alcohol. If you put alcohol on your skin, it flashes off pretty quickly. The same can be said for essential oils. If you put an oil without a carrier, it's going to flash off your skin very rapidly. That's why we always want to use a carrier oil so that it can hold the oil longer and you'll have long-term effects. The coconut oil is excellent if you want to do a massage, but castor oil is going to be useful for those targeted areas that you want to improve. And I'm going to give you examples of that in just a minute. One quick way that you can dilute your essential oils with the castor oil. If you just want to use a few drops of your essential oil, you don't have a roller ball or anything like that, then you would use maybe 2 to 5 drops of essential oil and then about a tablespoon of castor oil, and then apply it or rub it into the area that needs support. But if you're going to use a roller ball, we traditionally use 10 milliliters when we're making a roller ball. But if you're going to be using castor oil, it's recommended that you get a large roller ball, which would be a 30 milliliter roller ball. You can easily find these online. And then you would add 10 to 30 drops of your essential oil of choice. So again, the castor oil is going to allow the essential oils to stay on your skin longer, and it's going to offer those extended benefits and support. As was mentioned in the video, castor oil is very rich in this ricinoleic acid, which is very rare. It's a fatty acid that you're not going to find in other plants, and it's very nourishing and it holds those oils longer because it has that thickness, that high viscosity. So it's going to really retain that moisture on your skin, and that's why it's been used for centuries for beautifying the skin. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. It can help reduce those imperfections. And you can use packs, organic cotton lined packs or organic flannel, so that you can retain that benefit in place. So that's going to be something we'll be talking about during the rest of the class, how castor oil is ideal for any type of castor oil pack, like on your abdomen, on your knees. I bought a set of these packs online and it had different sizes and different configurations. It had some for your breast, it had one for your liver or abdomen area. There was a pair for your feet. There was also one for your knee, for your shoulder. So you can just get a simple cloth and then adapt it to your needs, or you can get some that are already in these configurations with Velcro so that it can be held in place. But they're available online and you can easily find them. Now, the methods of using castor oil, as I mentioned, you can use it as an oil pack or a body wrap. There's also these little patches for your belly button. Your belly button is an excellent place to get that absorption of the essential oils and the castor oil. So there are patches. You'll see it right here. This one's in the shape of a heart, but they have just round patches. And then you can be walking around during the day and you have the benefit of that castor oil going into your belly button. You can use it in a roller ball, as I mentioned. It's recommended you do maybe a 30 milliliter. And also when you're dry brushing. That's another application method. Now let's get into the wellness pyramid, and we're going to look at a couple of these fairly quickly just to get some ideas as to how you can incorporate castor oil very easily in your everyday routine. This wellness pyramid was developed by the doTERRA doctors, and if you haven't heard about it, the the pyramid was designed to help us make sure we have our foundation strong, which would be our nutrition and digestion. Because if you have that base solid and firm, then everything else is going to be built up upon it, and you're going to have better health results if you have that base secure. And when you have that secure, then you can move on and work on the next one, and so on and so forth. But our last resort, of course, is going to be having to need that medical care. And if we're proactive with these base layers, it's going to be less likely. We want to be preventative. We don't want to be reactive. We want to make sure that we are doing something every day to support our health, to better our health goals. We want to be preventative and just make sure that those daily habits are supporting our wellness goals. So, as we start at the base with nutrition and digestion, how can we incorporate castor oil in this level? Well, you can help yourself with that occasional constipation, or if you have any type of digestion issues or bloating. Oils like digestion, spearmint, ginger, fennel, all of these are excellent to use for that constipation or bloating. And you would use it as a pack, or you can use a little patch around your belly button. And here's a recipe that's very easy to follow. You would combine 1 tablespoon of castor oil and then 3 drops of digestion. And then you would rub that into your abdomen and cover it with a wrap and then apply a warm compress. And just do that for about 30 to 60 minutes, or you could even leave it overnight, and you will notice a significant improvement. Now, the next level of our healthy pyramid or wellness pyramid is going to be our movement and metabolism. And oils that you might consider here would be Metapower or grapefruit, and you can use them as a pack or actually make a roller bottle. For example, if you combine 1 tablespoon of castor oil with 3 drops of Metapower and then just apply it to your upper abdomen, and then just cover it with that organic cotton line wrap. Apply your warm compress and then just leave it again. 30 to 60 minutes is the ideal time for packs, but many people just sleep with them. And they have wraps so that you can keep them in place. And if you don't have time to just relax or rest a little bit, even though that's the ideal way to do it, you can be walking around and doing your housework while you have the pack on. But this is going to support your metabolism. It can help with like cravings. It can help with stubborn fatty areas of your tummy, and it's just very good to get your metabolism going. Another one on movement and metabolism, we're going to focus on movement. This would be for any type of joint or muscle or inflammation. And of course, we're all familiar with deep blue. So you can take a teaspoon of castor oil and then apply that to the area of concern. Right here, we have the example of a knee, and then apply 5 drops of deep blue over that. And then on top of that, we're doing like a sandwich, right? So it's castor oil, deep blue, and then another teaspoon of castor oil. And then you're going to wrap that. Apply that warm compress, and that's going to really drive down the inflammation, not only because of the essential oils, but because castor oil is also very anti-inflammatory. So this is something you can use for any part of your body that is just aching or giving you a hard time. Let's move on to the next part of the wellness pyramid. This is rest and manage stress. Oils like balance, adaptive, lavender, serenity, and past tense. All of these can be used in a pack, using a patch, or with spot application, depending on your needs. So here we have the example of balance, which is an oil that we all should really start our day with. Balance is excellent to oxygenate our red blood cells and to help us be grounded and just have better mood balance throughout the day. So place 2 drops of balance and 1 teaspoon of castor oil in your belly button, and then just cover it with a patch overnight. The next part of our wellness pyramid is going to be reducing toxicity. And top oils for this is the new Revitazine oil, which was launched October 1st as well. And we do have a separate class on that. Geranium, cilantro, lemon, and tangerine. And these are excellent oils to apply with a pack. And the reason we want to consider detoxing is because 35% of adults are already showing signs of liver overload. And then the environmental toxins can reduce liver detox efficiency by 45%. When we have toxic overload, this is going to give us fatigue, brain fog, hormone issues, gut imbalances, and premature aging. So that's why this category is really key. And here's another way that you can hone in on detoxing your body. So you would combine a tablespoon of your castor oil with the new Revitazine, 3 drops of that, rub it in your upper abdomen, and particularly focus on the right side because that's where our liver is. And then you cover it with that organic cotton lined wrap, add a warm compress, and then just let it sit and rest for about 30 to 60 minutes, or you can leave it overnight. Another way to reduce toxicity, which can be shown in our face, right, as we're exposed to environmental toxins, is that we get wrinkles, we get uneven skin tone. So we are all familiar with Immortelle. And Immortelle has no carrier oil. It's just pure essential oils. The best essential oils for your face are found in this little bottle. So what you want to do is dilute it so that you get that extended benefit and it gets into those deeper layers of your skin. So they recommend you take your Immortelle, which comes in a 10 milliliter, buy a 30 milliliter roller ball, and then just add the 10 milliliter Immortelle and fill the rest with the castor oil. And you would apply that in the morning and at night to a freshly washed face, massage it, and even use a gua sha stone or your fingers to really get it in there and support your skin. Now, here's a recipe I didn't want to skip over because they did share this with us at convention, and I got it as a gift, and I absolutely love this recipe, and I highly recommend that you try it. If you don't have the Immortelle or you want a second type of serum for your face, get a 1 ounce bottle. I use a dropper bottle and fill it 1/3 with castor oil, 1/3 with argan, and 1/3 with rosehip oil. And then 10 drops frankincense, 10 drops blue tansy, and 10 drops black spruce. And this is going to be a game changer. I feel like it's like a Botox in a bottle serum. I love this recipe, so I encourage you to try it. Now, as we wrap up the class, I'm going to give you a couple more tips and ways that you can use the castor oil. And in the wellness pyramid, we have informed self care, making sure again that we are proactive about our health and that we are able to address things that come up in a natural fashion whenever possible. So, for lashes and brows, you can use rosemary or lavender, and you can get these empty little brand new mascara wands or eyelash brushes, and you can make yourself a serum. And I'm going to look for that recipe. I think I have it in the rest of the presentation, but I might have skipped over it. But we'll get back to that one in a second. But castor oil is excellent to grow eyelashes and eyebrows. Another way to have informed self care is your women's monthly support and just relieve that monthly discomfort that so many of us are familiar with. So, top oils for this is clary sage, ylang ylang, clary calm, frankincense, pink pepper, and grapefruit. And so you can use these in a pack over your lower abdomen with the castor oil to help you during that time of month. So a tip is to use the Clary Calm because it's already mixed with a lot of different oils. It's already a blend specifically for women, and it's a lot easier than mixing different oils. So get your Clary Calm, roll it on the lower part of your abdomen, and then layer it with 1 tablespoon of castor oil, and then put your pack and a warm compress on top of that. And then you can use that overnight if you'd like. So here's another one for self-care. This is the one I skipped for the eyelashes and the eyebrows. If you don't have hinoki, which is a limited edition oil that has come out from time to time, you could use cedarwood or just do the lavender and the rosemary. So combine 5 drops of each in an empty 15 milliliter bottle, and then combine castor oil and jojoba. So you're going to do 50-50 of each. And then you use an eyelash brush to brush a tiny bit through the lashes right before bed. And this is by Dr. Nicole Stevens, recommended to really help with sparse eyebrows and eyelashes. Last tip on informed self-care for your hair. If you combine 10 drops of rosemary, 10 drops of lavender, and 10 drops of peppermint in an empty 15 milliliter bottle, and you fill the rest with castor oil, you're going to massage about 5 drops into your scalp for 5 minutes. And you want to do that about an hour before you shower so you can just let it sit on your scalp and really help promote that natural hair growth. So here are different ways that you can incorporate castor oil in your daily routine. You can start your day with the serum, the recipe I just gave you, and then you can add some deep blue and castor oil to your shoulder. You can get that warmed up during your morning walk. You can also massage the castor oil into your scalp before shampooing it. Also use it in your joints or dry patches of skin to nourish and comfort dry skin. You can dab it on your lymph areas or under the arms for moisture and topical support. Use your castor oil pack on your abdomen or liver, and then apply it to cuticles or your heels to soften skin. And so again, here we have more weekly pack or patch routines that you can use by blending these doTERRA essential oil blends with castor oil throughout the week, and just fit it into your schedule. If you can't do it every day, well, pick a couple of times during the week when you can include it in your daily routine, in your wellness routine. I mean, you're going to notice the benefits and the changes. I've been using it as a castor oil pack on the bottom of my feet with those special wraps that I purchased because I have plantar fasciitis. And then I've also been using one over my liver with the Revitazen. And I've been creating a blend of birch and deep blue with the castor oil, and then putting that on my husband's shoulder with a special shoulder pack. And it really works. I mean, we notice a difference in our pain and our discomfort, and the inflammation just comes way down. So I really encourage you to start using it. And again, let's review castor oil. If you are a wholesale member, it is $28. If you are not, then it's $37.33. But if you want to become a wholesale member, I can get you a link so that you can get that for free and then save 25% and be able to pay that wholesale price. You are already able to get this through your doTERRA wholesale account. Just go to doTERRA.com, log into your account, and you'll be able to add it to your cart. Now, the gift that everybody gets for attending the class today, I'm also going to put it in the chat, is that we have an ebook that's going to give you lots of tips, lots of recipes on how to use castor oil besides the way that we reviewed today during the class. So you can just scan the QR code with your phone, or you can use the link that I'll be putting in the chat in just a moment. So as a reminder to close the class, I just want you to keep in mind that if you're a wholesale customer, you can earn doTERRA dollars by hosting a virtual class or an in-person class. And when your friends start using essential wellness in their life, then you're going to get doTERRA dollars so that you can get free product. You can also learn how to supplement your income if you want to become a wellness advocate, or you want to share with friends and family and get a little bit of money for that and get your oils for free. I can show you how to do that. So any type of support or questions you need, you can always go to your wellness advocate. I'm also here to answer any questions you'd like. So if you want a complimentary consult or you want to ask some questions, you can scan the QR code and that'll take you to my calendar and you can book a time to connect, and I'm happy to answer those questions for you. Now, the next class we're going to have in the month of October is going to be next Friday. We're going to go over all of the November promos, and we're going to talk about the different tips and recipes and ways that you can use those November oils. Plus, I'm going to be revealing the limited edition winter collection that is only available for a very short time every year. And there's some really incredible things that I saw at the display case at convention that I'm going to be sharing with you. So make sure you write that in your calendar. It's going to be the same Zoom and the same password. So thank you, friends, for joining. I hope this class was helpful, and I'll be staying a couple of minutes afterwards just to see if there's anybody that has questions. If you are watching the recording and you enjoyed this presentation and found it helpful, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future content.